Ladies and gentlemen, today we discuss the sixth habit of life. 1. Self-acceptance is the first habit of transformation. Before you can change the world, you must first accept who you are. 2. The habit of gratitude turns pain into power. Shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, and you'll never feel powerless again. 3. The habit of consistent self-discipline. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be consistent. 4. The habit of embracing failure. As a teacher, failure is not the end, it's the beginning of wisdom and resilience. 5. The habit of serving others creates purpose. When you help others rise, you rise with them. 6. Your story is your superpower. Conclusion. The world doesn't need perfection, it needs authenticity. Your scars tell stories that inspire healing. 1. Self-acceptance is the first habit of transformation. Before you can change the world, you must first accept who you are. There comes a moment in everyone's life when the world goes silent, not because there is peace, but because you feel alone in your struggle. I remember that moment in my own life when I opened my eyes after a terrible car accident and realized I could no longer walk. My spine was crushed. My dreams shattered. I looked at my body, broken in every way, and I asked myself, why me? But you see, that question, why me, is a prison. It locks you in blame, regret, and self-pity. And in that dark place, there is only one key that sets you free. That key is self-acceptance. Let me tell you something that may surprise you. Transformation doesn't begin when things get better. It begins when you accept the worst and decide to still love yourself. I used to look in the mirror and see only a wheelchair. But slowly, through pain and reflection, I began to see something else. I began to see me, not broken, not useless, but alive, capable, and worthy. That shift changed everything. In a world that constantly tells you how you should look, walk, speak, or dream, self-acceptance is a revolutionary act. It's not weakness, it's courage. It's standing tall, even when you're sitting down. It's saying, this is who I am. I may have limitations, but I am not limited. When you accept yourself, you stop comparing your journey to others. You begin to understand that your path is yours for a reason. You stop chasing validation from people who don't even know your truth. And most importantly, you learn to forgive yourself for your failures, your flaws, and your fears. Self-acceptance is not settling, it's the soil from which real growth happens. Imagine trying to build a house on a foundation you hate. It will crumble. But when you embrace your truth, your story, your scars, you build something unshakable. You build you. There are people who will look at you and see only what's missing. Let them, because the day you stop trying to fit into someone else's version of complete, you begin to truly live. You begin to change your life, and when you change your life by accepting yourself, something beautiful happens. You give permission to others to do the same. You become a mirror for their potential. You stop hiding your struggles and start sharing your strength. So today, I ask you, what part of yourself are you hiding because the world told you it was unlovable? What part of your story are you ashamed to tell? Own it, all of it. Because when you finally say, this is me, and I am enough, the transformation begins. And that, my friends, is the first habit that will change your life. *********. 2. The habit of gratitude turns pain into power. *******. If you focus from what you lack to what you have, and you'll never feel powerless again. There is a common misunderstanding in this world that gratitude is reserved for the people who have it easy, that it's something you feel when everything is going well, when life is perfect, your health is strong, and your path is clear. But let me tell you a truth. I had to learn the hard way. Real gratitude does not begin in comfort. It is born in chaos. It is not nurtured in abundance. It is discovered in adversity. After my accident, I lost so much: mobility, dreams of becoming an artist, the way I had envisioned, even my confidence. And for a while, I sat in that grief and pain, feeling robbed, feeling small. But one day, I looked around that hospital room, and instead of asking that, why me, I asked that, what What do I still have? That question changed everything. I still had my voice. I still had my hands to paint. I still had my heart to love. I still had the power to choose how I would respond to my pain. And that, my friends, is what gratitude is: the power to shift your focus, not to deny your pain, but to reclaim your perspective. Pain is loud, it demands attention, but gratitude whispers, and yet its voice is stronger. When you develop the habit of gratitude, you don't become blind to suffering, you become aware of the strength that suffering gives you. Think of it this way: pain breaks you open, but gratitude fills those broken spaces with light. I began to thank life, not just for what I had, but even for the pain, because it made me more human, more compassionate, more connected to others. Gratitude made me realize that my wheelchair was not a cage, it was a vehicle, not of limitation, but of purpose. We wait for miracles, not realizing that breathing is a miracle, that smiling in pain is a miracle, that choosing kindness in the midst of suffering is a miracle. And the habit of daily gratitude unlocks all these miracles. Start small. Thank your body for carrying you, no matter how imperfect it may seem. Thank your mind for still dreaming. Thank your heart for still loving, after all it's been through. Thank your pain for teaching you what ease never could. When you begin to live in gratitude, your pain becomes your power. It no longer controls you, it elevates you. And the most beautiful thing, gratitude is contagious. It spreads healing. When you speak with gratitude, you remind others of their strength. When you live with gratitude, you give others permission to rise. So if life feels unfair and the world seems dark, ask yourself, what do I still have? That one question can be the spark that lights up your whole world. Gratitude doesn't erase your struggle, but it gives it meaning. And that is how you turn pain into power. Here is the next powerful and educational speech segment, inspired by Muniba Mazari, focused on the third keynote, the habit of consistent self-discipline, You don't need to be extraordinary, you just need to be consistent. Discipline is not something we are born with, it is something we choose, every single day. And believe me, it's not the most talented who succeed, it's not the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest, it's the most consistent the ones who show up, again and again, long after the excitement fades. After my accident, people often ask me, where do you find the motivation to keep going? And the truth is, there are days when I don't feel motivated at all. But I have trained myself in something far more powerful than motivation. I have trained myself in discipline. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. It is the quiet, relentless choice to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. And when you build that habit of waking up and committing to your purpose, you build a life no failure can break. Let me be honest with you, there is nothing glamorous about discipline. No one sees the nights you cry yourself to sleep, but still get up the next morning to try again. No one applauds the small habits, the reading, the journaling, the rehab exercises, the difficult conversations with yourself in the mirror. But I promise you, those small repeated actions shape the strongest versions of ourselves. You see, I couldn't change my legs, but I could change my mindset. I couldn't run marathons, but I could paint, I could write, I could speak. And none of that came with a magic switch. It came with hours, days and years of choosing to show up when I didn't feel ready. Discipline means honoring your commitments to yourself. It means showing up not because someone is watching, but because you are watching. And here's the truth, we all need to face, if we only act when we feel like it, we will rarely act at all. Discipline builds trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a small promise, you tell yourself, I am reliable, I am capable, I am in control. And that trust, that's the foundation of confidence. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Practice a craft for 15 minutes a day. Write one paragraph. Take one deep breath. Instead of reacting in anger, you don't have to do it all at once, but do something, and do it every day. You don't need to be extraordinary, you just need to be consistent. Because the truth is, transformation isn't made in grand gestures, it's made in the discipline of showing up on the days you don't want to, on the days when progress feels invisible, on the days when your pain whispers louder than your dreams. Keep showing up. Your future self is waiting, and she is proud of you, not because you were perfect, but because you didn't give up. Would you like me to continue with the next keynote? Says it, the habit of embracing failure as a teacher. Here is the next empowering and educational speech segment, in the voice and style of Muniba Mazari, centered on the fourth keynote, ****. 4. The habit of embracing failure as a teacher Visit. Failure is not the end, it's the beginning of wisdom and resilience. In our world, we're taught that failure is something to be feared, something shameful. We avoid it, we hide it, and sometimes we let it define us. But let me ask you something. When did we start believing that failing means we are not enough? Failure is not a full stop, it's a comma, a pause to breathe, reflect and grow. I failed many times. I failed at dreams that once defined me. I failed at relationships that I thought would last forever. I failed even in trying to stand, literally. But it was in those very failures that I discovered something powerful. Failure does not break you. It reveals you. It shows you what matters. It teaches you where your strength lives. I remember the first time I tried to paint again, after my accident. My hands trembled. The canvas mocked me. My brush strokes didn't feel like art. They felt like loss. But I kept going. And do you know what happened? That failure turned into expression. That mistake turned into a masterpiece. Because failure is never the opposite of success. It is a step toward it. You will fail. That's not a threat. It's a promise. But what you choose to do with that failure, that's your power. The habit of embracing failure means you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every failure carries a message, a gift wrapped in discomfort. Sometimes, failure is there to humble you. Sometimes, it's there to redirect you. And sometimes, it's there to awaken parts of you that comfort would never touch. Here's what I've learned. People who never fail are not lucky. They're limited. They've never pushed far enough. They've never dared deeply enough. They've never truly lived. If you failed, be proud. It means you had the courage to try. You see, scars are proof that healing happened. Mistakes are proof that effort was made. And setbacks, they're just setups for something bigger, something wiser, something stronger. I want you to start treating your failures like teachers. Listen to them, respect them, but do not fear them, because they are not there to diminish you. They are there to define your depth, your resilience, your humanity. Failure is painful, yes, but pain is the price of growth. And when you embrace it, when you look it in the eye and say, you will not stop me. You don't just grow, you rise. So the next time you fall, I want you to remember this. You did not fail, you learned, you lived, you're still here. And that means your story is not over. It's only just beginning. Would you like me to move on to the fifth keynote? Says it. The habit of serving others creates purpose. Here is the next heartfelt and educational speech segment, in the tone and power of Muniba Mazari, centered on the fifth keynote, the habit of serving others creates purpose, when you help others rise, you rise with them. There is a kind of emptiness that success alone cannot fill. You may have achievements, applause, recognition, but still feel something missing deep within. That emptiness is not a lack of accomplishment. It is a lack of purpose, and true purpose begins when you shift the focus from yourself, After my accident, I often wondered, Asterisk. What am I still here for? What can I possibly give when I feel like I've lost everything? But then I began to speak. I began to share my story, not because I thought it was special, but because I realized it might help someone else feel less alone. And the moment I saw someone's eyes light up with hope, I understood something profound. The pain I once cursed had become someone else's medicine. That's the miracle of service. It transforms suffering into significance. You may not be able to walk, but you can guide. You may not be able to speak to millions, but you can speak to one. You don't have to have everything to offer something. And here's the truth. You don't need a stage to make an impact. Sometimes, just showing kindness to a stranger, listening without judging, or offering encouragement to someone who's given up on themselves, that is a form of service, and it is sacred. The habit of serving others rewires your heart. It replaces comparison with compassion. It replaces self-pity with contribution. And slowly, you begin to realize, purpose is not something you find. It's something you give. When we serve others, we stop asking why me? And start asking why? How can I use what I've been through to uplift someone else? The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more connection. And when you share your truth, not just your triumphs, but your trials, you invite others to feel seen, heard and valued. There is a dignity in helping others rise, and in that act, we rise too. We find strength we didn't know we had. We heal in ways we didn't know we needed. So if you're searching for purpose, don't wait for a miracle. Be one. Be the reason someone believes in second chances. Be the reminder that kindness still exists. Be the proof that even in a broken world, love still wins. And remember, service doesn't subtract from your life. It multiplies it. It turns your wounds into wisdom, your challenges into change, and your existence into a legacy. The most powerful people are not those who stand above others. They are the ones who lift others up. So choose to serve, not because you have to, but because you can. Because every act of service, no matter how small, is a seed of hope. And the world needs hope now more than ever. Would you like me to finish with the final keynote? Says it. Your story is your superpower. Here is the final and climactic speech segment, written in the inspiring, educational, and soulful voice of Muniba Mazari, based on the sixth keynote, ******. 6. Your story is your superpower, *****. The world doesn't need perfection. It needs authenticity. Your scars tell stories that inspire healing. For the longest time, I tried to hide my story, not because I wasn't proud, but because I was afraid. Afraid people would only see my wheelchair. Afraid they would pity me. Afraid my pain would define me. But then I realized something *****. When you hide your story, you hide your power. We live in a world obsessed with filters, where people are encouraged to show only their highlights, not their hardships. But real connection, real change, comes from truth, not perfection. It comes when someone stands on a stage, or sits in a room, or whispers into a friend's heart, and says, this is what I've been through, and I'm still here. Your story may be messy, it may be painful, it may be filled with moments you wish never happened, but your story, yes, your story, is the medicine someone else desperately needs. I used to believe my wheelchair was a weakness, but today, I know it is part of my strength, not because it defines me, but because it reminds me of how far I've come. I could have chosen silence, but I chose to speak, and that choice gave others permission to speak too. Your voice can open locked doors in other people's lives. Your truth can break the chains of shame for someone else, but only if you are brave enough to share it. Don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait to have it all figured out. Speak from the scars, not just the healed places, because vulnerability is not weakness. It is leadership. When you begin to see your story as your superpower, everything changes. You stop apologizing for your past. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop hiding your heart and start offering asterisk. The greatest impact you will ever make is not through your trophies or your titles, but through your truth. You are not here by accident. Your story, no matter how broken it may seem, was meant to be lived, meant to be told, meant to be shared asterisk. The world is not looking for flawless heroes. The world is waiting for real humans, brave humans, honest humans. So tell your story, tell it loudly, tell it gently, tell it in every way that sets your soul on fire. Because when you do, you remind others that they too can rise from the ashes, walk through the fire, and emerge, not as victims, but as warriors.